Mrs. Klein surveyed 240 men and 285 women about their vehicles. Of those surveyed, 155 men and 70 women said they own a red vehicle. If a person is chosen at random from those surveyed, what is the probability of choosing a woman or a person who does not own a red vehicle? All right, so this is a great probability question. There's a ton going on in this question. Like always, I suggest that you go to your formula sheet and see if any formulas help you first. And in this case, we do have a formula that helps us. Because it says what's the probability of choosing a woman or a person who does not own a red vehicle, we can use this addition rule because it says probability of A or B. All right, so what the rule tells us is that we want to add the probability of A plus the probability of B and subtract the probability of both. So let's see if we can figure that out. So the first thing, probability of A, is choosing a woman. So we need to go up here and we need to figure out how many women there are out of how many total. So to find the probability of A, we're going to do 285 women out of the total. So I need to add 240 plus 285, which is 525. So that's the probability that you get a woman. Then we need to find probability of B, and probability of B is a person who does not own a red vehicle. So I think the easiest thing here would be to add up how many people do own a red vehicle and then subtract it from the total. So since 155 men and 70 women own a red vehicle, I would go over here on some scratch paper and I would add those up. So 225 people own a red vehicle. Now there's 525 total, so I'm going to do 525 minus the 225 to figure out how many people don't own a red vehicle. So that leaves me with 300 people who don't own red. So I'm going to come over here and fill that in. Probability of B, there are 300 out of 525. And then I want to subtract off the people that are both women and not owning a red vehicle. Okay, so let's go back up here and think about this. There's 285 women. 70 own a red vehicle, so I need to figure out how many women do not own a red vehicle. So I'm going to take 285 and I'm going to subtract off the 70. So that tells me that there's 215 women who do not own a red vehicle. That is the probability of both, the women who don't own a red vehicle. So we want to subtract off those 215 that we counted twice. Because the thing is, we counted these people in the women total, and we counted them in the not red car total. We don't want to count the same person twice. That's why we subtract off those overlaps. And here they all have a common denominator, which is great. You can just add and subtract the top. So 285 plus 300 minus 215. That's going to give us 370 over 525. And now, since it doesn't exactly match my answer options, I'm just going to turn it into a decimal. If you have a calculator that reduces it for you, if you can hit the fraction button on your calculator, your life's going to be way easier because it'll automatically reduce that to 74 over 105. But if you don't have a calculator that automatically reduces it for you, turn it into a decimal. Do 370 divided by 525. That gives you approximately 0.7. And then divide each of these to see which other one is approximately 0.7. Now, I already happen to know it's C, but just for example, if you did 14 divided by 57, that's 0.24, so that would not be your answer. So you could go through and change each of them to a decimal. But C would be your answer for this one.